collision with another occupied mine car. Somewhere deep in the Nugget's ominous mine journey was another drop in darkness, a dizzying dive through a glowing, spinning tunnel, and of course, the sure-to-get-you-wet waterfall that shuts off just before you pass under it. The light would start to leak in, signaling the end of an experience I had daydreamed about throughout third grade class, but not before one last encounter with an old skeleton, remnants of a past expedition gone wrong. A quick glance at the old barber shop and the ride station, and the ride was over. With a huge smile and gleaming eyes, I would run down the exit ramp, run to my mother and say, "Can I do it again? Can I?" As a coaster enthusiast and the New Jersey regional representative for the largest club in the world, the American Coaster Enthusiasts, I should also mention the historical significance of the Golden Nugget. Built between 1959 and 1960 at a cost of $100,000 and designed by John Allen of PTC, it was the only steel coaster ever designed by John Allen. When it opened, it featured 10 individual mine cars, later linked to make 5 two-car trains. It stood the test of time, operating as part of Hunt's Pier until 1989, Conco's Party Pier until 1992, stood dormant until 1996 when it reopened as the Golden Nugget Mine Rescue, part of Dinosaur Beach, owned by the Cadenoso family. It sadly last ran in 1998 and has stood lifeless ever since. It survived the demolition of every classic non-Morey's operating Wildwood attraction that ran alongside of it. It was a true landmark in the Wildwoods for almost 50 years. To the casual Wildwood vacationer, this Western-themed structure is seemingly out of place. But to the Wildwood regular, it will only be out of place once the final structural member is torn down, never to be seen again. The story I told of my experience on the Nugget is a personal one, but also probably a very familiar one to the millions who had the pleasure of experiencing it for themselves. It was my very first coaster, and the impetus for my love of all things coasters, dark rides, amusements, and of course Wildwood. In closing, while we are all truly sad to see the Nugget reach its ultimate demise, I know that this truly was a very difficult decision to be made by the Morey organization. Not long after the announcement was released about the Nugget, I was surprised by a personal phone call from Jack Morey. I could tell that he was broken up by the decision and was reaching out to one of the ride's biggest fans to simply talk about it, why they did it, and how we should look ahead to a brand new beginning and a bright new future in the history of Wildwood's amusements. The Morey organization is taking the right steps to ensure that future rides and attractions not just be off-the-shelf variety. They respect and cherish the history of Wildwood's amusement piers and are truly dedicated to continuing that rich tradition. For us, we have photos, videos, and the truly special memories of the Nugget to cherish forever. I stand before you all almost 26 years after that 8-year-old boy took that memorable ride. Truly honored to have been chosen to speak to you all by the Morey organization to tell my story. It is a moment I will never forget, and I hope I was able to bring back some memories for you all as well. Goodbye, old friend. You truly will be missed. Thank you.
That did it. Oh, I'm going to be a mess.
Clam chowder, yeah. We have a special souvenir trophy presentation, and let me reintroduce to you my brother, the company's president, my boss, Will Morey. It was his decision. I said we're doing what, Jack? No. Before we do that real quickly, I want to invite Mayor Triano. I think we have Commissioner Bill Davenport and Commissioner Gary DeMarzo as well for a special treat for all. This is a surprise to us. I think it's a special tribute.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to warm and sunny Wildwood. It's never cold here. Nice little ocean breeze. Welcome today, and Will, Jack, I know this was difficult for you to do this. This was our Disneyland. When we were growing up here, this was Disneyland. Everything that Disneyland this had, and this meant a lot to us, especially trying to get through the tunnels. It was turning without falling off the car. Could never get through my head. I wasn't going to fall, but every time I got to that tunnel, I was falling. I was holding on for dear life. because these aren't the biggest cars in the world to start out with. But this is truly going to change the landscape of this boardwalk, not seeing this building here. But the one thing we can honestly say is in our city hall, we have 2 enormous blow-up pictures, and the one is of Hunt's Pier with this ride. So this will always be ingrained in the city. This is as much part of the city. Actually, I can honestly remember riding this when it originally opened up. It was a marvel. I think it was the 7th or 8th marvel of the world at the time, at least to us anyway. But we have a proclamation on behalf of Commissioner DeMarzo, Commissioner Davenport, myself, and there's a lot of whereases, which makes you more important than most. But basically it says in essence that this ride will never be forgotten, and today, January 31st, 2009, is declared Golden Nugget Day in the city of Wildwood. So we'd like to present this to you.
As a youngster in the 60s, I worked for Hunt's and actually worked on this pier, mostly on the pirate ship, but occasionally here on some of the other rides. And I've got to echo what the mayor said. The photograph of Hunt's Pier in the 60s is placed prominently in the lobby of City Hall. Anybody wants to come and see it on a regular work day, it's there. We'll all miss this ride and all the rides that we grew up with.
I want to say thank you for coming out. As Revenue and Finance, we had to turn the heat down through the budget cut, so I do apologize. But I had the opportunity to watch people come in and out of Wildwood. And as they grow, they go different places. And as we travel the state, everybody tells us, hey, we went to Wildwood. I worked in Wildwood. And this ride doesn't die, because this ride is going to go to a different place. And this will be a piece of Wildwood in a different part of the country. And it'll always bring it back to here. And I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I want to thank the Mayor, Commissioner Davenport.
Thanks again. We wish everyone a great day, and thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, the good news is, all of you folks who stuck this out, there's more soup for all of us. And hot chocolate and all that stuff. Very quickly, a very short closing remark, but before remarks, my wife said, I hope it was a remark. But very quickly, Jack, why don't we present these gifts to our special guests. We thank you so much for being here to assist us today. Oh, well, let me give that to you, because I know you labored over this.
Okay. These are a few special presentations we have to our VIPs, speakers. This is the actual track. This is the actual platform of the station, mounted together, and we just think they're really, really neat. So, Will, please make the presentation.
I want one.
Okay. That's you. I'm sorry. Who do you?
I'll give a speech. I got plenty. I'm ready.
Sorry.
Public speaker.
Okay, come right on.
Down the line there.
All right, here we go.
Bring them up front.
No, I got
Bring them up so I can see. Okay, let's do this. Bring them up so I can
This wasn't rehearsed. Here's what I'd like to do, Jeff.
Sorry.
Let's hand it out to each of the folks. We'll get a picture. We're going to let these folks run for soup.
I don't care. He's going somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Where's that going?
All right, we're gonna bring these folks up front so you can get a picture in just a moment. That.
The ceremony's done. We should.
Can I have one of those?
And let me just. Great. We'll get a picture in just a moment. You know, I think it's all been said, but I have one other thing to say, and that is, I think I've learned in life that I hope today is a day as cold as it is one of warm memories for you. This ride's meant so much to so many people, as you well know. And one of the things that we've learned is you don't try to duplicate. You know, we're not going to try to duplicate the Golden Nugget. This is a classic. This is a one-off. In my view, there'll never be anything better given the size and design of the Golden Nugget. But we are going to push forward and try to bring a new classic to the Jersey Shore. And I want you to know that your attendance today, the enthusiasm that I see here today and the warmth that I see here today will just be ever more the catalyst to see that we invest ourselves in doing that even to a greater degree than we had planned. If you go in today and you have some soup, in the room we do have a working model of an attraction that we're planning for the next few years. It's going to be a heavy lift to make it happen. It's going to take a lot of approvals. It'll take many approvals. It'll take a lot of work. But this is the kind of gathering that helps us say, let's press forward and make another classic for our generations to come. Thank you very much for being here. God bless you all. And Jack reminded me there are tours of the coaster shop if you'd like to go that way. That'll be going on for the next hour or so. So if you want to grab something to drink or eat or go there first, that'd be fine. And I'm going to anyone who'd like to take a picture, I'm going to invite you up front. I'm going to get out of the way and we'll get a picture here. Thank you again.
Go to the side. Go that way. Where it's empty. Where he went, we'll see inside.
One more, everybody squeeze together. We've got time out here, we have room.
Start winding up.
All right, we good?
Okay, let's get some meat.
Pier, flyer, and the Golden Nugget, which we call the minor. I really enjoyed working with during the Golden Nugget. We promised Nugget that it was the only minor that he would design. I was very impressed by the turnout. I couldn't believe how many people were here. I thought there'd be a couple of dozen. Instead, there were 150 people. They were coming and going. It's unfortunate it was as cold as it was, but that's what sometimes it is down the shore. Really impressed with the turnout. I was impressed with the people, Jack Morey and his brother, and the plans they had to build a coaster here. I was also very pleased that this ride is going to be taken up in Knoebels, which is a good old line used in Park, and get resurrected as a coal mine ride. I think it's tremendous.
Just rehash it one more time. Just give me some of your emotions.
Well, there's a feeling of sadness. What can you say? I know this is one of my father's favorite rides. His heart and soul into it to make it the best ride he could. And particularly, he used all the experience he had gained with the toboggan company where he made fun houses. And he used a lot of that in designing the ride, in addition to his expertise in building a coaster.